Most people love Mickey Mouse and the magic that comes with Disney. It's truly one of the most magical places in the world. But what happens when there's two places that contain the most magic? How can we tell which one's which? The similarities are overwhelming when discussing anything Disney related. But when going to the parks, there are many differences. It's all about location, food, and attractions. Disney is something that we all might have heard about, but we need to first learn some history behind Disney to fully understand the parks. The first one we're going to talk about is Disneyland. Disneyland is in Anaheim, California, and it opened in the year 1955. This is while Walt Disney was still alive and he could perfect the perfect land that he wanted. The next is we have Disney World, Orlando, Florida. And this is something that Walt Disney didn't actually get to see completed in 1971, so he left his brother Roy in charge of making it. So it's something that he didn't get to see completed, but it's not to his magic perfection. The next is we're going to talk about how they both use the land. Disneyland is significantly smaller than Disney World. It only has 2 parks side by side. Disney World has 4 parks and 2 water parks that are separated amongst thousands of acres that Disney World owns. Both of them use their parks very differently. Disneyland has fewer parks and fewer resorts. Disney World, with its bigger landmass, has so much more space for resorts. Next thing we're going to talk about is, now that we know some history and where they're located in the U.S., we're going to talk about what you can eat at the park, because that's honestly what we're most curious about. So let's talk about savory first. Corn dogs versus turkey legs. When you go to Disneyland, you're going to go for a corn dog. This is something that you can eat on the go. When you go to Disney World, turkey legs are what you're going to eat because you need to sit down and enjoy it when you're watching a parade or something. Because Disneyland is very on the go, you need something to eat while waiting in line. So the next thing, let's talk about sweet. When you're talking about sweet, let's talk about churros and funnel cakes. Funnel cakes are something that you need to sit down, just like the turkey leg, so you're going to be heading to Disney World. But if you want a churro and you're going on the go to all the rides and attractions, you're going to be eating a churro. And when talking about on the go, not a lot of sit downs are in Disneyland. When you're on the go, wanting to go to all these attractions and stuff like that, you're going to be wanting to not sit down, you just want to take your food and go. But at Disney World, you have Epcot. Epcot is literally the world of all worlds. You can eat at any country that you want to. And this can go from Sweden to anywhere in Asia, anywhere in Europe, and you get to sit down and experience it with your family, and the magic comes from the surroundings. Now we know that our tummies are going to be full when we're waiting in line, so now we got to move to what are we waiting in line for? The attractions are something special at both of the lands, but they're also very unique from each other. In the attractions, when you go to Disneyland, you're going to seek the thriller rides. You're going to want to go from ride to ride to ride. But at Disney World, you're going to take a little slower pace, and you're going to go watch a ride of The Little Mermaid, which is all great, but you just get to sit there and you don't get to do much screaming. And if you're tired of waiting in lines, why not go to a parade? Well, if you're looking to go to a parade, you want to go to Disney World, not Disneyland. Disneyland has a couple parades every now and then, but it's mostly just people going by energetic dancing. In Disney World, it's mostly floats, where you get to see all your favorite characters swinging from float to float, and it's truly magical. And even though we don't want our Disney experience to end, it all ends differently at each park. At Disneyland, you're going to see water and fire. Not fireworks, but fire that's shooting to Pirates of the Caribbean songs, or you're showing your movies through water, which is truly amazing. But when you go to Disney World, you're going to see spectacular fireworks and Tinkerbell showing you to the exit gates. This is literally how you end your magical day. Even though you might not know the similarities before this speech, I hope that you know a couple differences afterwards.